having seen from the inside out and helped produce some of this propaganda, I mean, there's a formula to it, and it has everything to do with, I think we're very much still affected largely by survival instinct, primate survival instinct, tribalism, and just our emotional reactions to things. Edward Bernays, who was Freud's nephew,
I wrote about him in The Cult of Trump as the foundation of this.
I mentioned it in my book as well.
Yes.
His book,
Propaganda. Yeah, 1928.
I mean, that was the playbook that was used. And, that was a book that to this day I have on my desk so I can show people in interviews, journalists and such. Look, this is part of the formula. And, these people are exploiting our nature, our hardwiring, and the easiest way to do that is to whip up the low-hanging fruit, which is anger and outrage and frustration, because it disconnects our critical thinking skills. It's kind of a cognitive dissonance that happens.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter what the truth is anymore. And I think we need to reclaim that weaponization, but use it on the part of putting out truth and putting out, verified information and sources. I think that it's being used to decent effect. I mean, they're not great storytellers, but they're putting it out in mass. And that we have plenty of great storytellers that are on the side of sanity and empathy and human connection. But we've got to up our game. I come to this as from the perspective of a storyteller. So
1,000%. So, I want to amplify your voice, and I am a former survivor of an extremist cult, and I interview many because I want the public to understand we're not stupid, we're not uneducated. We got hacked. We were trusting the wrong people with the wrong sources, and our minds got taken over. But there's still hope for people to go, you know what? I can leave. I don't need to live in this dissonance between my real self and my conscience and what the ideology is of the group that I've been a member of for a few years.
And I think America right now needs some exit ramps. We need needs to be okay for people to say, "Oh, I got sucked in, and you know what? I'm not happy with the direction things are going, and I want to get back to who I was."
Exactly.
We're so divided. I think we need to. And I mentioned that during my testimony before Congress was, I think cult deprogramming techniques. I think that we've grappled with similar things. Yeah. And I think that's part of the answer. I think, there is no just one answer, and there's going to be no just sweeping government reform. It's going to be little actions done on a tsunami level by all of us in our own spheres of influence, our own families, our own communities.
We're on the same page, my friend.